Good morning, good morning. Sorry, I was trying to bring the camera down and adjust so we would be in the proper view for you. How are you? Good morning, I'm Diane, and I am the proprietor at Two Girls Treasure right here in Florence, South Carolina. Welcome to Coffee and Create. I'm so glad you could be here this morning. I'm going to take my phone out of my back pocket. I was listening to a gospel song that my preacher sent me, and I've got to turn the volume all the way back down so that we are not listening to the wrong thing this morning. How are you? How was your weekend? What did you create? Share those projects that you made with Rethunk Junk Paint on the Rethunk Junk Q&A page, or on the Creating with RTJ Paint Co. group page. Share those creations. Did you create something with Iron Orchid Designs products? Share those too. We love to see what you have built, bought, repurposed, refurbished, refreshed, refinished. We love to see your projects every week because we know you're doing great things on the weekend. Love to see them as we're watching football over Saturday and Sunday evening. Love to see them first thing Monday morning. And Tuesday morning, I love to share with you. And today I have something really special to share with you. So you can see the little cabinet behind me. I was attempting to take the shelves out when we went live. Let me double share the screens so you can get a really good look at it. It's so cute. It looks like a birdhouse. It has some nice little Queen Anne style legs on it. I went to the auction yesterday to buy 3 things, none of which I purchased. None. But I got this. Say hello as you come in this morning so I know you're with us. Isn't this cute? It is. And it's not that I don't love what's on here. What amazes me about what's on this cabinet is that this was done so long ago, and it's what we're doing now. We're just doing it different. We're just doing it a little different. The back side of it has a solid board on it, a little bit of a Luan piece, but it's still painted the same color. You know I specialize in that. And then the sides of it, look at the beautiful flowers and birds up on top. And there's a bird on a branch inside, just like birds, branches, and blossoms. How adorable is that? And it's set up for wine bottles. I got one screw out and recognized that I would actually have to work a little bit harder to get those cabinet shelves out, and it wasn't something that I wanted to do right this minute. So I'll get to the inside later. What I'd love to share with you this morning are the color combinations we're going to work with here, because you know it's not going to be just one, and you know I'm not just going to brush this on. Cloud, our very favorite cloud, our very favorite peacock feather blue, and our very favorite eucalyptus, because how could you not absolutely love this color? Love this color. I think those 3 will make an amazing combination. Of course, we're going to prep. Of course, we're going to base it in our cloud. I'm looking real quick for the right drawer. Oh yes, here they are. Here they are. Today, not only are we going to paint, but we're going to paint with our silicone blades. I love these. I really do. It's a good time. And let's focus on this side first. let's get down to the meat of what's on here. When you start a project, do you really know what's underneath it all? What you're working with, what you are painting over? Can you paint over this and not have a shadow effect? Yes, you can. A lot of times when you buy a piece that was embellished years ago, you have to remember that the products that they were using years ago are not embellishments like we have these days. So this might be, I'm gonna try to zoom you out. It's not gonna let me. It's not gonna let me. Let me pinch it and see if it'll do. Nope, won't do that either. Well, I can't move it back any further, so I'll move it out. The embellishments they used years ago were different. It's like everything else. Products change, products develop, products improve. Absolutely improve. And the best thing you could do is just test it first. So let's grab a brush and let's get started. I'm going to pull out my Miracle brush. I love my rolly chairs. I'm going to pull out my Miracle brush and my spritzer because I like to start with my bristles damp, not saturated, but damp, because I want to make sure that I'm going to open my phone up just in case you have any questions or comments. I'm going to go kind of fast as soon as I find where we are. Are we live? I hope we're live. It says we're live. Say good morning if you're with me. Yes, there we are. There we are. All right. Got you right here. Good morning, Sharon. How are you? All right. I'm going to go a little bit quickly this morning because I want to get to the good stuff. And what's the good stuff? This is the good stuff. Our embellishments, our products for our generation. When I first started carrying Iron Orchid Design products, it's been several years now, I showed my sister Laura, who I hope gets to pop in real quick on her break this morning, and she said, oh, Nanny used to do those. Now, please remember, my nanny was relatively old recently. She lived until she was 105, y'all. That's getting old. That right there is getting old. But Nanny used to do these. I did not remember, but my sister did. And she said when Nanny found these products, she went crazy. They were on everything. She had a Hoosier cabinet where she made all of our biscuits and our donuts, and she had it on there apparently. She had a china cabinet, y'all, that I thought was built in because it had so much paint on it, because my grandmother painted furniture too. It wasn't a built-in. It had so much paint on it that it was stuck to the wall. I had no idea. Thank God for my older sister who can explain all these crazy things to me. That first coat looks like it went over the old embellishments just fine. I'm going to do the roof as well. And I'm going to do everything I can to keep my shirt sleeve out of this paint today. I love my little flow blue blouse, and the white will go very nicely with it. And I should have an apron on, but that's not going to keep it off my shirt sleeves. So let's do the very top. Let me spin it just a little so you can see better. Got a little bit of a wobble in the legs, so I know I'm going to need some felt pads under the legs. Got a little chip right there. We're going to paint over only because we're going to French country this one up. This is not going to be yellowy with glaze, although that was beautiful and that was a great Great technique. Say bye-bye, birdie. Laura, say bye-bye, birdie. That was a play she was in. She'll get the reference. If you were born in the 60s, you remember bye-bye, birdie. Not that we're old, but that we had really cool things to do. We had plays to be in, performances. We had theaters at school. And now we have paint and Iron Orchid Designs. One of the things I want to cover with you this morning is the finishing. We always get to the start. How about the finish? How about that finish? What do we use to finish a product? Well, I quit using polyurethane a long time ago. We were working on a project that was a donation for a fundraiser we were helping with, and we painted beautiful pure white. We put the Palmetto Moon and Tree on it in the rich South Carolina blue, and the second we painted over it with a polyurethane, it turned yellow. Just like that, it turned yellow. And we had to let it dry and we had to start all over again. It's very frustrating, very frustrating. So we don't want that to happen, right? I don't want that to happen. I know you don't want that to happen. Well, I've seen some things, heard some stirrings, read some posts where there were some problems. If you're using cloud, it's pure white. If you're using linen, it's a yellow base. If you're using oyster, it's a gray base. If you're using driftwood, it's a greenish gray. It has a green undertone. If you distress a color that has undertones, guess what you're gonna see? That's right, the undertones. So if you paint something linen and you distress it, you're going to see those yellow undertones. Nothing's wrong with the paint. Nothing's wrong with the tough top or the flat top. The yellow undertones are from the fact that you used a yellow-based neutral. Same thing with your driftwood. You paint it, you distress it, you're gonna get the green undertones. Nothing's wrong with the paint. Nothing's wrong with what you've done. Actually, it's pretty cool if you ask me. Now, if you want a pure finish, choose your pure white. If you want a little bit of color and a little bit of variety in your finish, choose something that undertones a little bit different color, because then you'll have two different colors without having painted two different colors. You'll have that little bit of undertone, but then you'll have your overall. Please keep that in mind. Paint is an amazing thing to work with. It is. Painting furniture is an amazing thing to do. Understand where your balance is, and you'll have the world conquered, or at least your piece of furniture. All right, let me set this down, and we are going to move to our secondary color. I'm gonna put this in my water bucket, and I'm gonna put some water in it. Now, our secondary color, I really love the peacock feather first, because I want the eucalyptus to be the stronger color. As this is drying, I'm not really seeing, I can still, it's a very translucent coverage. I wasn't trying to completely cover. I can still see the embellishments under there, but I'm not getting any impressions from them. I can see a little leaf right there. So I think we can compensate for that. I think we can, and I don't think it'll be a great big problem. I'm gonna cover my cloud because I have it down here on the bottom, and I don't want to get dirt or dust or peacock feather blue in it. Not yet, not yet. I still have more work to do. I'm really just gonna take this and dip it down in, and I'm gonna get a nice juicy coat of peacock feather blue. I don't want it drippy too much because I don't need it drippy, so let's let that run off. Let's actually blade a little bit of it off. Are we still drippy? One little drip. We're good. All right, you ready? Let's do this. Shirt sleeve completely out of the way. Let's cover this gently. Our white is still a little bit damp, and we're gonna pull some of it when we do this. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I love how this works. This is almost a color over a color like you get with salt wash, but not. This is not like blending colors, because you're not. It is its own unique style, and I like it. I'm not trying to cover anything up. I'm just pulling that paint up and down with the edge of my blade. I'm gonna get my edges right here. Look at that. Absolutely love that. And you know what? This is a newer product, but it's a recreation of products that have existed for a long time. Becky actually got me one. Becky's always getting me fantastic products. This is the one Becky got me. So it has a handle, flat wooden surface, and a little bit of, you can see the texture where it has lines in it. Nothing I did, that's the way it came. Watch this. It does basically the same thing. So cool. We're creating a new generation of products. We are using a new generation of amazing art quality products to do our work. Keep doing it. People have been painting furniture for years. It's not new. It's not shameful. It's fantastic. All right, let's do a little bit of the blue down here on this bottom side. Love that finish. We've got a little bit of architecture right up under this edge. It's just a birdhouse wine cabinet. And we're going to French country this and make it so pretty. A little bit of peacock feather blue on the blade. Need a little bit more to hit this center section. And it doesn't take very much paint at all. I'm gonna cross hatch right here. There we go. A little bit more coverage. A little bit more blue. You never have enough peacock feather blue. There we go. Now this is looking Sherry MacArthur Beachy, isn't it? Well, it will for a minute. St. Augustine Beachy, right? Isn't that great? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. If you're in this morning, say hello. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'm going to tip you a little bit so you can see the whole thing. I forget sometimes what you can and can't see when I'm turned sideways. And somebody asked me on YouTube to please show my work. Well, some of my YouTube videos are a year old or older. I can't change them, but we can do them again. So It was when we did the Christmas ornaments last October, the great big giant ones. So we'll do some more of those because that was fun. That was really fun. So we'll do some more of those. I'm gonna wipe a little bit of this paint off my hands if you don't mind. A baby wipe is really handy to have right next to you. A wet washcloth or a baby wipe. I like the baby wipes because they clean so much and I don't have to rinse frequently like I do when I have just one cloth. I did do my nails today too, and I'm gonna have blue paint all over them, and they're pink. All right, now, always shake, and when you think you've got it shaken well enough, shake it one more time. Oh yes, look how beautiful and yummy that is. Eucalyptus. You can almost smell it. Oh, that's the eucalyptus we have hanging in the store probably. Oh, if you were here for the flower show the weekend, thank you for coming. I'm going to stand up to do this, and I'll move you in a little bit closer so you can see really well. Thank you for coming. We had such a good time. We saw so many of our wonderful friends and customers. We made some new friends. Don't forget that this weekend is the Family Harvest Festival. We would love to see you here. Pumpkin painting at Two Girls Treasure on the front sidewalk for all ages. For all ages. Everybody needs a good stress reliever these days. Pumpkin painting is a fabulous stress reliever. What do you think about the eucalyptus with this peacock feather? I love it. I'm gonna cross hatch this eucalyptus. I'm gonna pull it completely to the side, and I'm actually going to wipe that off. Now, the color striations with the peacock feather blue and the eucalyptus, I'm going to spritz that just a little bit because it's drying before I'm finished working with it. I'm going to pull, just squeegee across it, so that I keep a lot of my green in there, but I move it, and it really does change the tone of that peacock feather blue, doesn't it? Really does. If you've ever done a windshield like this, raise your hand. Snow does not count. Yes, snow counts, but we don't do snow. We don't do snow. All right, let's see. Down we go, and all the way around. A little bit of water on the edges. I've got a little too much green in a place where I don't want so much, so I'm going to liquefy it. I'm going to run it straight off the end into my rag, just like that. Do you want me to teach you how to do things like this? Come to a workshop. Just come to a workshop. I have them 3 Saturdays a month, 1 Tuesday. This evening is our Make Your Own Heirloom Gingerbread workshop. Thank you for everyone who signed up to participate. We are going to have a time, a good time. All right, now, let's let that dry and let's move down. Let's move down to this lower level. Oh, we've got a button bumped we don't want to have. There we go. Good morning, Lynette. You're never late. You're never late. You're always right on time. And I appreciate that. I do. Thank you for being here. Did you make it to the flower show the weekend? I hope y'all had the chance to come out. It was crazy, crazy busy. I saw some beautiful mums moving through and some beautiful pumpkins, some crazy looking pumpkins. We had a good time here at Two Girls Treasure. All right, a little bit of eucalyptus. Let's get some in there. It almost turns it to an olive tone on top of this, doesn't it? And it really is not intentional. It's not. A little bit on this side edge. Lynette, we're gonna French country this up. So I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna spritz it a little bit. I wanna move that paint around. And in order to do that, I don't want it to dry too quickly. And when you use just a little bit of Rethunk Junk paint, boy, it dries super fast. So go easy, careful, grab your spritzer. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna spritz it again. There we go. And side to side so it matches the top. Lynette, remember when you used to go to the gas station and while they were pumping your gasoline, they would clean your windshield like this? Boy, those were the days, weren't they? Good times. Good customer service never goes out of style and is never forgotten. Right. A little tamp around here just to soften that a little bit. Just a little pat. Just want to soften it up a little bit. What do you think? I love it. I love it. Now, I'm going to put my lids on and I'm going to let it be for just a minute. I want to talk with you about finishes. I want to talk with you about glazes, and I want to make sure that we're all on the same page with everything we have. Let's see. I'll do a dual so we can keep our eye on the dry time, because it won't take but a minute for this to dry since it's so thin. What do you think about the colors? I love them. I love them. Let's talk about glaze. Classic black glaze. We have antique brown glaze. We have soft white glaze. Glaze is not a finish coat. Oh, Lynette, you're so sweet. Alice, good morning. You know what? You were on my mind this morning before I ever started. I hope you're doing well. I hope because you were on my mind, it's because everything in your world is fabulous. Thank you for being here. And Lynette, thank you. You're so kind. You're very kind to us. Glaze is not a finished product. Glaze needs to be sealed. Glazes are usually water-based, and a glaze is designed to give you an aged finish. So if you put glaze on something, you still need to use a sealer. Tough Top is a sealer. It's water-based, it's white. Let me grab a cup and I'll show you. Tough Top is the bomb diggity. It really is. But it's white, see? It is, let me get it over in the camera. It goes on white. It dries clear. And if you find that you have marks where you have tough top or flat top, as it's drying, it's normally because you didn't put enough on. Now, this is thin. Look, that's thin. It is okay to put more than one coat. It's okay to put a lot on. Don't panic if you feel like you've put too much on there. Put as much as the product needs so it's sealed and protected. If you run into a problem with your Tough Top, don't be mad at me for saying this. It's usually because you didn't do it the way the instructions or your retailer or the video you watch, you didn't listen to those instructions, you didn't follow along. You got to follow along. You really need to, because your retailers know, your retailers practice, your retailers have done it wrong so many times. We know how to do it right. We've learned the hard way. I've always told you, let me make the mistakes so I can teach you what not to do. I don't like using foam brushes at all. Those to me are worse than chip brushes. I will use a chip brush for Tough Top before I would ever use a foam brush. A foam brush with any kind of sealant has a tendency to leave bubbles and just a mess, They're not good. Let the children play with the foam brushes, okay? Let the children play with them. If you want a really beautiful finish, let your paint dry well. Use a good brush. Use enough Tough Top and let it dry. And that's really all you need. That's all there is to it. It's not hard. It's not impossible. It's not complicated. It's a water-based sealer, and it goes on easy, smooth, and you'll have a beautiful satin finish. Now, the paint dries satin all by itself. Once this is dry, you don't need to do anything else to it if you don't want to. If you want to embellish it, you can go right over it. This paint will not reject your embellishing products. It will not reject your transfers, no matter what brand you're using. It will not reject if you're doing glue and molds. It will not reject. It will be amazing. But you have to allow enough product on to finish it. Now, we have another product to seal with, and it is called Wash. A few years ago, we had a lot of people who moved from using chalk paint or mineral-based paint to using Rethunk Junk. But because they were accustomed to using waxes, they kept asking, what kind of wax do I use? We don't use wax. That's an X, not a T. Tennessee, they need goalpost, but that's an X. And that means don't wax. We don't wax. But wouldn't it be nice to have a product that's not wax-based, that's water-based, that you could use as a sealer and a hardener that would actually give you the little in the crevices and over the top finish that a wax would. Wax alternative sealer hardener Wash. Rethunk Junk Wash. We have 5 different colors, and it is just like Tough Top, but it has a little color in it. Let me crack this open and I'll grab a cup and show you. Whitewash Black Pearl, which is my personal favorite. Rich Brown, which is brand new. warm stone, which looks amazing over your light neutrals, sea glass, for all those times where you want everything to look beachy, sea glass. I'm gonna grab a brush and I'm going to stir the bottom of this with a brush. This has a lot of small flakes of pigment in it, and you want to make sure that you get those all mixed in. Stir it, shake it, stir it, whatever it takes to get it mixed up. But this is your vintage whitewash, and guess what? It's white. It's a little bit different color. Let me get you in close. It's a little bit different color than your Tough Top. Let me put you in front of this camera with the lights. Can you tell the difference? Let me tip it and not dump it. They're both very milky, both very clean. This will go on and it will be clear when it dries. This will go on and it will give you just a hint of white in the finish. It's not going to shine like putting soft white glaze on. It's just going to be a little bit of color, just a little bit. And the more you add, the more coats you do, the more you'll see it. Use it all you want. There you go. You get just a little touch of your white. So don't be afraid to experiment with your different finishes, your different finishing products, because they all do a different job and they're all fantastic to use. I'm going to show you this morning how I use my Tough Top. I'm going to get a decent sized brush. I'm just going to go ahead and use one of my well-used 2-inch Wooster shortcuts. Can you tell I love peacock feather blue? All right, let me put you back over on a solo view. Wrong view. That's the one. Take your cup or whatever container you have your Tough Top in. Look how thin it is. I don't want my Tough Top dripping all over the place. Even though I have an underboard, I don't want it dripping everywhere. Watch what happens when I put it on and press hard. See the drips and runs? I'm going to pull them up just like that. Nice and smooth and shiny right now. It's so shiny you can see the reflection of my ring light. That's hysterical. Look at that. That right there, that's good coverage. That's a good coat. When you can see the reflection of my ring light, you know I have put enough Tough Top to cover that. That looks great. And that was easy. There's a run right here. I'm just gonna pull it down. I don't want to overwork it. I don't want to brush it until it's dry. I just want it on there. I just want it on there. And as shiny as it is right now, when this dries, it will be the same finish as this paint, because the paint dries satin. The Tough Top is satin. This is as shiny as it's ever gonna be. I'm not a big fan of a real glossy finish on a piece of furniture necessarily. A lacquer finish maybe, but I don't do lacquer finish furniture. So I don't need a high gloss finish. Do you? I want a nice finish, just like you. but I don't really want a high gloss. I want just a really clean, smooth satin finish. And that's all it takes to get that. Just like that. And now we wait for that to dry. It's not difficult. It's not impossible. It's not out of reach for you to be able to attain an absolutely beautiful finish simply, easily. I'll tip you down so you can see the whole thing, and very affordably. There you go. Pull you back out so you can see the whole thing. That will dry in just about 10 or 15 minutes. It's a little cool this morning, so it might take a little bit longer to dry. Once it tacks up, I'm probably going to go ahead and do a combination of glazes. I really want to lighten this up a little bit more white. I may add some more color in there because I really want a beautiful, rich, distressed French country finish on this. And I can do that with probably, let's see, I had 3 colors of paint. I'm going to use 2 glazes and 1 sealer. That's 6 products out of 45 colors of paint, 7 metallics, 5 washes, 3 stains. What am I missing? And 2 sealers. That's a lot of products that we have on the shelf, and I'm only going to use 6 of them for it to look just like this. And I will add a little bit of video later today so you can see what it looks like after this. I am not finished with the gingerbread dollhouse yet. I will do more video of the big finish on that. We had the flower show, so I couldn't touch it all weekend, and it was killing me, just killing me. But we will have to finish that soon because now we have someone else waiting to make that purchase. So that has to get finished up. I just wanted to take a little bit of time this morning and talk with you about the finishing products that we have for you to use. If you have any questions at all about what Tough Top will do, what Flat Top will do, what the difference is with the washes, when do you use glaze? Those are a lot of questions that I hear a lot of the time. I am so happy to share with you anytime you want to know. All you have to do is ask me. These products are so amazing and so simple to use, and I want you to have extraordinary and successful projects when you use them too. Do I always do everything right? Absolutely not. I do it wrong a lot, but that's how I learn. And the amazing thing about doing it wrong is that I don't have to strip anything down to do over. Water-based, no wax. Well, that's perfect because there's no stripping involved. If it's not the way I want it, all I have to do is let it dry and go again. If it's not the way you want it, all you have to do is let it dry and go again. Please know, there's a reason why I sell Rethunk Junk paint products. There's a reason why I am so thrilled when it is our Rethunk Junkiversary. I made that up. But it is our Rethunk Junkiversary. And I'm superbly proud that we have been with Laura and Tom Whitlow for so long, because they have provided us not only with products that we can use, and I don't need another product line, but they are constantly improving what we have. They don't change the formula and it's not usable. They don't change things and we have to buy 10 more items just to get the same effect. They are constantly striving to improve our experience with what they have provided to us, and I'm thrilled to be a small business owner supporting another small business. I love them and I love their products, and I hope you love them too. If you've never used them, today might be a great day. If this is not quite dry, I can talk for 15 more minutes, but your coffee's gonna get cold. Check back in with me later today. I'll pop another video up for you. And I thank you so much for joining me this morning. Please don't ever hesitate. If you have any questions about finishing a project, it doesn't even have to be a piece of furniture. Whatever you're working on, if you need help, reach out to your local retailer. If it happens to be me and you're not local, reach out anyway. I'll be glad to help you and guide you through the process so that you can have a superbly successful finish. Thank you for being here with me today on Coffee and Create. I will look forward to seeing you right here Thursday evening for our live sale. You don't want to miss it. And tonight, thank you for all who have signed up. You still have maybe a couple of hours. If you're interested in participating and making your own heirloom gingerbread house, make sure you go to the workshops tab on the website or come on in the store and make your reservation. We'll provide all the products and all of the comic relief. We'll have a great time and we'll make sure you go home with something stunning that will last a lifetime. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here this morning for Coffee and Create. Have a wonderful day.